What's up, everyone? My name is Jordan.
And my name is Max.
And today we are here to talk about Crypto, the 11th, the newest legend to Apex Legends, and to do a brief guide of his abilities, his best strategies, people who can counter him, and best ways to counter other legends with him. So, Max, you have spent a large amount of time with Crypto, both during the preview event as well as just playing now live with him in the public servers. Let's briefly just go over his abilities before diving deeper into each ability and what they can do.
Sure. So the first ability he has is his tactical, which is his mainstay, is his drone. And this drone is deployable. It does take a little bit of time to start up. Once it's out, it goes fairly quickly. You can go up and down, using crouch to go down, jump to go up. The drone pings enemies. Its main bread and butter is to find enemies and ping them, but it can also do a couple other things as well. It opens crates, so you can find other loot. You can't loot through the drone, but you can open the boxes. You can open doors, so you can sometimes even pair with your teammates saying, hey, throw a grenade as soon as the door opens because there's an enemy behind it. But its best ability by far is to grab banners. And people haven't been finding that out very quickly, but it is something that once you know, it's very, very useful. So if this situation comes up where your teammates are just getting slaughtered and then their banners come up because their crates are on the floor, you usually just want to hang back for a bit, send the drone out, grab the banners, and just dip out.
Got the banner. I'm not giving up on them.
It's a very safe situation because, he's not risking himself. It's just a drone. And the best part about that is you can do that outside the ring. So the drone doesn't take any damage outside the ring. So if your friend dies out in the ring and the banner is up, then you could just go send the drone, grab it, come back, and revive them, which is great.
Awesome. And I've also been playing a little bit with Crypto, and I have noticed that the banners themselves change when you're looking at them through the drone. What exactly is that doing?
The kill leader banners, they are actually hackable, quote unquote, and the drone actually shows you how many squads are in its 200-meter radius from that area that it's in. So what I like to do, I found my own technique to it, which is I like to kind of fly my drone behind the banner and park it up there, and within that area that I know is 200 meters, which is huge, so it's a pretty wide range. I like to just kind of check in once in a while and see if there's any enemies around. Because if you know that there's somebody around the corner, or at least within your vicinity, then you can kind of prepare and plan, or at least start looking around. And if there's no enemies, then you can just freely loot without worrying about anything.
So that's his tactical, but what about his passive ability?
Crypto's passive is to relay the information that he gets from his drone ping to his teammates. Similar to Bloodhounds, it pings enemies through walls and through smoke as long as the drone is locked onto them. So I've seen strategies where there's somebody that's very strong on your team who's a very good shooter to kind of relay with them and ping the enemies that you really want to attack and make it easier for them to win the fight.
The ultimate does have a lot of uses, his EMP pulse.
This EMP is absolutely amazing. It actually might be one of the better ultimates in the game. I prefer to call it the bunker buster because it really is. It goes through walls, which can destroy any defenses. It destroys all traps, it does 50 shield damage, it stuns all the enemies in the area. And I know people have been complaining about yourself being hit and damaged by it, and your teammates being stunned by it but not damaged by it.
EMP hit me.
But that's the same rule with every other ultimate in the game.
Yeah, but Gibraltar has it for his ult.
Yeah, Gibraltar, Bangalore, you hurt yourself and stun yourself if you get hit by it. So I don't understand why people are freaking out about that. But that's part of his kit. If it has a huge range, and if you hit yourself, then you will get damaged and you will stun yourself. In that situation where there's kind of a stalemate, when you know where they are, that's the best way to initiate the fight. So you send in the drone, you do the EMP. At that point, everybody on their team has to either A, they have to heal, shield, sell, or B, they have to fight with at least maximum of white shield situation, because they're going to have only 150 HP at most. Right. They have purple shields, it's going to be down to 150 with a white shield situation, and that's great advantage for you. So he's usually holding the back line physically and having the drone go forward to scout ahead. And because of that, if your teammates get in a fight, very quickly, you're usually, a little bit behind. And by the time you get there, they might be already dead. So sometimes it can be not beneficial to you. You can offset that with good drone use and pinging them correctly and making sure your teammates hit them really well. And again, the EMP use is very, very useful to start the fight off with using that. Because of his whole kit and all of that together, he's not an aggressive character at all. He's very, very passive. And if his drone gets destroyed, forget it. I mean, he's pretty much useless. He's just a plain old Bob walking around. He's got no passive or no skill on his own. For 40 seconds, when that drone's destroyed and has to respawn, he's just a normal dude. He has nothing.
So as we've already said, like Watson and Caustic, they're a no-go against Crypto. He just drops, as you said, one of his bunker busters, his EMP pulse, and all of their hard work is just gone. So he's a really good counter against them, but what about legends that can counter Crypto? Who are the best characters for taking on the hacker?
The only legend who can directly counter his EMP specifically is Wraith, because she can void through it. And it's very easy to, because once you see the EMP go off, you can't stop it. So as soon as you start seeing the blue electrical signals coming out, usually like a second after that, you do void, you dodge the whole thing, and you just walk away scot-free. Other characters within that range will get wrecked. Best counter for him is anybody who has good aim, really. Anybody who destroys his drone first is just going to make him useless.
Right.
And at that point, because the drone only has 1 HP, again, if you have good aim and you just knock that out in one shot, then he's out of the fight pretty much for a while. There's combinations you can sort of do as well with a couple of ultimates. Bangalore's is kind of tough because it's such a slow explosion afterwards, but Gibraltar and Crypto have a really good synergy where you can ult both of them at the same time, so they'll be immediately stunned and then they can't go anywhere. They have at maximum 150 shields and they're being rained on by Gibraltar's ult. And so if they're like, especially like holed up on the top of a tower or something where there's no actual cover and they're just sniping down on you, just use those 2 ults and they just get utterly obliterated.
If you want more tips about other Apex Legends, we have a whole video series of every other legend. So there are 10 other videos that you can watch and 10 other articles on the legends that you can also read. And of course, we'll be continuing to cover Apex Legends, so just be on the lookout for more content as the season progresses and we go into future seasons.